Welcome to Time Travel Coins. I'm a coin collector. I'm going back in time through my UK and English coin collection, looking at all the monarchs. And we're now in the reign of King George VI. King George VI, you can see there in the picture, on his coronation day with his wife Elizabeth and daughters Elizabeth and Margaret. George VI, born Albert Frederick Arthur George, but a mouthful that. Didn't use his real first name as his regnal name, chose George instead. He was born on the 14th of December 1895, sentenced to the throne in 1936 on the 11th of December following his brother's abdication, Edward VIII. Coronated on the 12th of May 1937 and died on the 6th of February 1952 at the young age of 56. Current year is 1951. We've just had a proof set issued to celebrate the Festival of Britain. So we'll work through these coins so you can take a closer look, starting with the farthing, which was a quarter of an old penny. See the farthing, it's had the same design with the wren. And that's coin probably worth about £9 if you want to buy it individually. The proof sets themselves, there are only 20,000 issued, and the whole set in the box you can get them on eBay between about £80 and £110. Next up is the halfpenny. This coin's got a bit more toning on, and you can see the mark left by the ribbon. It's been sat in the box for many years with that ribbon over it. It's caused some irregular toning on the obverse there. The reverse, same design as Elizabeth II halfpennies with the Golden Hind ship. And that one's probably worth about £5, that coin. Next up is the penny. Now this is a key date, it's 1951. Standard mintage for circulated coins is only 120,000. That's the lowest for King George VI's reign, and they were released in Bermuda, I believe. So there weren't many just circulating generally, and people brought them back from Bermuda. And the value of this coin in proof is very similar to the value if you had a random circulated one from normal currency issue. And I'll put the value at between £40 and £45 for this coin. Very much a key date, 1951. Moving up to the threepenny bit. In brass. See there the slight ribbon mark as well on that coin. And the reverse is the thrift plant. Lovely reverse condition there. Probably value that about £6. And we move up to the silver coins. We have the sixpence. Nickname was the Tanner, this coin. Not a tenner, a Tanner. Reverse with the initials of the King, 1951. And as with the Queen Elizabeth II coins for shilling, we had an English design and a Scottish design for the shilling. The obverse, and that's the English reverse. obverse for the Scottish, which is identical to the English. Same Latin abbreviations on the obverse. DG standing for by the grace of God. BR on Rex, King of all Britons, George VI. And there's the Scottish reverse. But the value of those shillings about £12 each. The sixpence about £10. So we're moving on up to the florin. Reverse there. The Tudor rose in the centre with the thistle and shamrock outside of it. The obverse. Again, that toning a bit patchy, isn't it? Not very pretty, but still excellent condition coin, as they all are. Then we have the half crown. Same obverse. Reverse there, the shield reverse with the English three lions, the Scottish rampant lion in the top right, and the Irish harp for Northern Ireland in the bottom left. Probably value of the florin about £15, the half crown, and say about £19. Then we have the full crown. The obverse. Now these were issued in boxes as individual coins as well as the proof set. So there's quite a lot of these issued. I think the mintage is 1,983,000. So it's a very common coin. You probably might have it in your house somewhere. Famous Georgian dragon reverse. The last time Georgian dragon was used on a non-sovereign or half-sovereign coin. And that design dates the whole way back to George III times. Some people have criticised it a little bit because the dragon looks a bit small. But I love the George riding on horseback there, looks fantastic. Value-wise, this is probably worth less than the half crown, probably only about £10, particularly with that, once again, annoying ribbon toning on the obverse. Move those down. Okay, so we've gone back a bit further in time now to 1946. 1946 was the last time silver was included in the composition of circulating coins in the United Kingdom. So, following the Second World War, Great Britain had lots of debts to pay, and they collected in all the silver coins, melted them down to help pay those debts. Many still stayed in circulation. Often collected up by savvy individuals, saving the coins with the pre-47 coins. But they lasted quite a while. You could get odd ones in the 60s, 70s, even up to the 1980s. You could get the odd silver coin in change. So we'll start off with the smallest one. And this is a silver threepenny bit, 50% silver. The rest of it would be copper in this coin. This weighs just 1.41 grams. And these were circulated at the same time as the brass ones. The brass one that I showed earlier was first minted in 1937. This one's minted in 1943. Mostly, I think it was used in colonies rather than in the UK, as the brass one took favour. But you still could spend these in George VI's time. The reverse there showing the St George's cross over the Tudor rose. It's very much an English design on this coin. Nickname for that coin was the Joey. So moving up to sixpence. Slight change in design there from the one I showed earlier, the copper nickel one. Initials slightly different. 1946, very good grade. You can get a lot of good high grade 50% silver coins minted in the 40s, because some were held back and saved, not spent, not circulated very widely. In terms of valuation, the threepenny bit is actually worth more than the sixpence, because there was fairly low mintage, about 1.379 million of the silver threepence, whereas the sixpence there's 43,466,000 of those minted. So value of the threepenny bit, I think you could get about £9 for that in this good condition, about £4 for the 1946 sixpence. Moving up to the shilling. Same design with the Scottish and English reverses. It's 1940 Scottish. And the English. The English reverse. Now we do have some new wording you might have noticed on the reverse there, where it says Ind Imp, which means Emperor of India. Following the independence of India, that wording was removed from coins in 1948. As King George became head of the Commonwealth, new title. Probably value of those shillings about £4 each. It's the florin. This one not in quite as high a grade. It's seen some circulation, I think, this coin. Not a huge amount. But I'll still say it is extremely fine grade. 1944. Probably value of that about £7. Then moving up to the half crown. $19,849,000 of these issued in 1945. Again, another high grade coin. Seeing very little circulation. Probably value that about £9. And then in 1937, and only 1937, there was a crown issued. Big chunky, 28.28 grams. Only 418,600 minted. And the reverse on this has got to be one of my favourites of all time. It's got everything on it there. You've got the shield reverse, 3 lions, the Irish harp, the rampant lion for Scotland. Then you've got supporting that shield, you've got a lion and a unicorn. Unicorn representing Scotland. It's got the Latin on the back, Defender of the Faith, Emperor of India, crown 1937. Huge chunk of metal. Yes, only 50% silver. But still, if you got one of these when you were a kid, imagine holding this and what you could spend on with this. It's also got a bit of French on the back, see, Deu et mon droit, which means God in my right, and that goes back to Richard I's times, that motto, and it was famously used by Henry V before the Battle of Agincourt. God in my right, basically saying that the king has a God-given right to rule, and written in French back in the days of Agincourt. I think it was claiming the right to rule France. Lovely coin. So there we have the final silver coins minted in Great Britain. And inflation-wise, a shilling back then is worth about £1.83 today. But the scrap value, and I'm talking in November 2025, where we've just had a spike in silver values. The silver value for those coins for scrap is about £3.23. So if you put these in a drawer, they would have more than kept pace with inflation. So you've done well. So that's the end of George VI. As I said earlier, I'll be going back in time through all the monarchs to find out what my earliest coin is. Next up will be George V and a special mention to Edward VIII as well. So that's my next video coming up. Thanks for watching.